Hello and welcome to Kakistocracy. My name is Chris Adams. I'm here with Joseph P. Larkin, if he can hear me. We,
Yeah, I can hear you, but I couldn't hear our intro music.
oh, well, okay.
Not that it matters, but but I don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't know anymore. Um, I'm I'm doing my best to not even peripherally look at the Dodger game to the left of me, and
hmm
uh, so. But I hear that you had an interesting night last night.
Yeah, let me get into this story for you. This might be the last podcast I ever do. I'm a dead man podcasting. so so it's a kind of a long story, and so
Okay.
maybe it doesn't matter that I can't hear you and that you keep breaking up because I have to go into like a whole spiel. So somewhere around 2 a.m. last night, I realized that my security camera needed the batteries changed. So I
Mhm.
went out and changed the batteries. Now I mentioned that I mentioned this because it's totally random that I was outside at 2 a.m. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not common to be wandering around out there. And so when I went out there to change the batteries, I noticed that there's a gate with a bunch of pool stuff behind the gate. I don't even know what's in there because I've never seen the gate open before. And so the gate was wide open. And so I go look in there. I don't see anybody in there, but I also don't see anything in there. So if there was shit in there, it got fucking stolen for sure. And so I lock the gate up, and then I take a look around the vicinity, and I don't see anybody around. And I noticed like, oh, a bunch of my neighbors got ring cameras, so it doesn't even matter that my ring camera wasn't on because somebody caught this guy who was out there, right?
Hmm.
So I go back inside. I'm satisfied. Detective Joseph is satisfied with his findings. Sherlock Homeboy is happy with what he discovered. And so I go back inside, and then around 2:30 a.m., I hear this pickup truck in the alleyway, and then I go out and look, and it's not he does not live here. Okay, so I see that his window is rolled down, so I yell down there. I say, "You don't live here. Get the fuck out," or something like that. I don't even know what I said. It was something to that extent, and so he goes away. And then at 3 a.m., I hear shit in the alleyway again. And so I go out there. It's somebody either breaking into a car or they're breaking into our mailbox. I can't tell, but they're doing it really loudly at 3 in the morning. And because I'd already seen that fucker in the truck and I'd already seen somebody had broke it into the pool closet, I was fucking agitated at this point at 3 a.m. And I yelled out, "Boy, you must feel like a big man digging through other people's shit in the middle of the night." And then I said, "You are a pussy." Boy, did
Ooh.
that hurt this guy's feelings. So
Ooh.
he put his tools away and stopped breaking into the car. And then he got on his bicycle and rode up to my unit and started yelling threats at me. And unfortunately, I only got a little bit of the threats on tape. Otherwise, I would send it in and we'd be watching it and laughing at it. But it's not worth watching and laughing at because you can't tell the guy's ethnicity, you can't see his face, so I can't even be racist towards him. So what's the point of showing you the video? But anyway, I was trying to get him to come closer to the camera so I could get his face. So I just kept taunting him, and when I called him a pussy, he goes, "Why don't you come down here and say it to my face?" And I was like, "Well, why don't you come over here and say it to my face?" I really wanted to get him on camera. And by the way, my neighbors have these cameras, so maybe they got him. Who knows?
Okay.
I don't talk to them, so maybe we'll get to hear an update to this story later.
Right.
After I get killed, they'll show you some of the footage that they got on their camera of it later. You can
Ooh.
play it on the podcast after I'm dead.
Yeah.
Um,
It'll be a
so
Joseph
this guy,
eulogy.
so he's yelling out all these fucking threats to me. And then he yells out my fucking unit number, and then he goes, "I got your ass." And then he rides off on the bicycle. And I was like, "Oh shit, he does got my ass now." Because even though I have cameras, it doesn't mean anything. The
No.
cameras didn't stop him from breaking into anyone's car last night, you
Mm.
know? Um, but I love that he said that. I love that he got his feelings hurt, honestly, and said that I should come down and say it to his face. Like, "Yeah, bro, let me go put on my shoes and climb on down there to get into a fist fight with a fucking junkie in the middle of the night." Yeah, I'm going to do that. I don't have the same ego problems that you do, junkie boy. I don't fucking care if you don't like me, and I don't care if you think I'm a pussy because I'm not going to go down there and fight with you. So
Right.
fuck you. But I
Right.
love that. that these I think that all criminals, especially in LA, are I think they're all sociopath not sociopaths, but narcissists
Hmm.
because they don't have any empathy for anyone. Because
No.
I would think that if I was breaking into someone's house or something and somebody merely yelled at me to leave, I'd just leave quietly so I don't get fucking arrested or get shot. This is LA, baby. They don't know I'm not fucking packing. And maybe I am. Maybe I brought a gun to the window. He doesn't fucking know.
Right.
He
You
doesn't
should
know
get one
that.
if you don't have one, though.
Of course, I'm not even going to debate that. And there's no need for a gun safe. My cat can't operate the gun or the safe. So I'll just leave it on the fucking floor somewhere. I'm
Yeah.
going to get a bunch of guns and just leave them by every window. So
Right.
whenever they try to break in next week, I'll just shoot them with ease.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Well, you know about this has no audio, but the this guy,
Yes, I do. He was in my neighborhood. He
yeah,
was see this video right here is from Van Nuys, and I live in Canoga Park, which is very far from Van Nuys, but not that far. You know what I'm saying? And I've read conflicting reports that he did in fact kill the person inside this apartment.
yeah, I read that too.
Hmm.
And there's not,
And
I don't know if it was
we already
this apartment. It might have been the next one, but he tried
in
this
the
one for
building
sure.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and but I mean, could that be the guy? Did you get enough of a look?
Oh, dude, actually, that could be the guy. He was wearing a fucking hat like that. He was wearing a white ball cap. God damn, dude. Fuck. He's
You
gonna
just,
get my ass. Oh shit, I fucked up.
yeah,
But yeah, I should say this to everybody. Don't fuck with these junkies on the bicycles because
mm,
those dudes are nothing to fuck with. And I didn't know he was a junkie on a bicycle. I just heard someone and I yelled out. So this is a great lesson for me. Don't fucking yell at these losers. If
I
they ain't
know.
fucking with your shit, let them steal. Let them steal the pool chemicals if they want them. But yeah, those
But
guys on the bikes are just roaming around on the bicycles all day looking for stuff to steal. That's
yeah,
it. And I used to think that they concentrate mostly on your Amazon packages,
hmm,
but they check your door.
yes,
They check. I can't believe you didn't check under the welcome mat. To be honest with you, they check your door. They check uh, they check to see if your car door is locked. That's
hmm,
how when a lot of people say their car got broken into, it didn't get broken into. They just left the door unlocked because they're stupid, and
yeah,
then someone just walked in there and rifled through it. In fact, that's what I think the guy was doing last night. I don't think he broke into anything. I think that he was checking doors to see if he could just grab a bunch of shit out of the glove compartment.
hmm.
In my
Well,
case, you can get a bunch of cool used CDs in my glove compartment, so you could definitely steal from me.
right,
But they do all this kind of shit, dude. He's casing the place. If he didn't go in there tonight, he's going in there later. And we talked about this earlier this week, but the only women, like women, don't do this shit with your stupid door.
yeah,
Don't do this. Don't decorate your fucking doors or the outside of your house because all you're doing is alerting criminals that you have a bunch of disposable income
hmm,
to piss away on stupid shit. So I was thinking about this. If this fucking asshole breaks into my house from last night. Do you know how disappointed he's going to be? There's no furniture. There's no look in this room. There's no furniture in this room. There's
right,
no furniture in my living room. There's no TV in this room or my living room. There's nothing worth stealing. The only stuff that's worth stealing he would never know is valuable, i.e., my record collection. A lot of these CDs, you would have to steal them all and then put them individually on eBay because there's a lot of rare shit in there. You don't know which ones are which,
right.
right?
Well, I wouldn't know.
Um, that's what I'm saying. He would never steal anything that's worth value in my home because I don't fucking wear jewelry. I don't fucking buy expensive nice things. I
Right.
buy stuff that's utilitarian, which goes up in value. In fact, maybe we'll do this on another occasion, but I'd love to talk about the alternative ways to make money or save money or invest your money, i.e., buying art,
Hmm.
even buying baseball cards or comic books, stuff that people just don't know is worth money.
I have a
That
bunch of those.
always, well, let me know where they are so I can break into your house and steal them. They opened up a baseball card shop right down the street from me, so this is really convenient. But that's real shit, man. Like I have a lot of original art, but they don't know what this shit's worth, and even I don't know how much it's worth. To be honest with you, I go by eBay when I look at the stuff
Right.
that I own, and I'm like, well, how much is it going for on eBay right now? But anyway, yeah, if you piss away your money on things like I don't know, like a fancy TV. That's something I think about all the time. These assholes in my building that have these gigantic TVs on the wall, and then they leave their curtains open and just watch TV all night. And it's like, dude, you're advertising to criminals that you have a gigantic TV. And if you have a fucking 60-inch or 80-inch TV, I guarantee you have a bunch of other super rare and valuable shit like guns or a fucking coin collection or some shit.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why no one ever fucks with my unit because it doesn't look like I have anything. I do this on purpose. I like my entire area in the back is covered with foliage and bushes and trees. You can't even see in there. There's nothing in there to see once you look in.
Mm-hmm. It's not like this. It's not like this door where it's just like flowers and say, "Hey, come rob me."
Hey, look, he's what that you know what that door says to me and to that criminal. It says a woman lives here alone and she has money. That's what it says.
Mm-hmm.
Because no fucking man decorates his dumb fucking door. Not even during fucking Halloween or Christmas.
No.
It's just not done. This is a female thing to piss away money on wreaths,
Yeah.
wreaths and welcome mats. Give me a fucking break. Yeah, the welcome mat is saying, "Welcome, rapist. Come on in and kill me. Come in and rape me."
Right.
The funny thing is that the guy from last night could be this guy or it just could be any dude because all of these fuckers dress exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, they
That's
have
how I
a
always. Well, yeah, they have a uniform. Like
yeah.
they're like the Ramones or the Ramones of crime. They all dress the same. By the way, you're not breaking up anymore, so we can just
Oh,
keep going.
thank
I'm sorry.
goodness.
I'm sorry. I was so tired of talking because I was like, let Chris have a moment because
No.
I'm already tired of this story because I've been thinking about it all day since I woke up. I was like, when's that guy coming back?
Right.
And he is coming back. We saw it last week. We talked about a guy, one of these junkies that rides around on a bicycle, and he had a fucking chainsaw with him, and he was nice enough to just kill trees. But
Yeah.
the guy that comes against me is not going to be killing any of my fucking foliage. I can assure you, he's going to be killing me.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
de- and I deserve to die. I've been going over it in my mind all day because what are you supposed to do? Just let the guy keep stealing from your neighbors? I don't like my neighbors, but that doesn't mean they should get their shit stolen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you
Right.
got to do something. And I'm gonna tell you right now, calling the cops would have been meaningless.
Yeah, they don't
They
they don't
would. They
come.
were. They're not coming. They're definitely not coming for one guy breaking into a car. It's not going to
No.
fucking happen. So you do got to say something though, because this dude needs to know that yes, even at 3 in the morning, there's people around that will hear you and try to stop you. And I also have to say, you have to be a fucking psycho in these moments
Yes.
because they don't respond to anything else except psycho bullshit. So I was yelling faggot at this guy, calling him pussy. That's the only thing he responds to. He's
Mm-hmm.
not, he's not, he wouldn't even respond to me. If I had said, I'm going to call the police, he'd be like, big fucking deal, faggot.
Right.
I'll kill you before they get here, dude.
Right. Well, that's why people that when you see people the way they act, like because I see a lot of how street people act on the train, they're acting that way because they know that they have to act that way in order to
Hmm.
try and intimidate the other guy. So they
Yeah, for
act
sure.
more irrational than the other guy. Whatever the other guy is doing, they're gonna take it up one more notch because that's how you intimidate, at least on the streets. And these are
Well,
street.
Well, I
What?
want to say this. You really just want to make yourself a difficult target because
Yeah.
they would rather just go rob a fucking old lady. That's what I'm talking about about decorating your door. They are
Hmm.
looking for women to attack because they're more easily overpowered.
Right.
So you need to make it. Sorry, my nose itches.
Yeah.
You need to make it abundantly clear that you're not a victim and that you're going to make it difficult for them. And I want to tell this story real quick because this is nowhere near the first time I came upon a crime being committed in my neighborhood. Nowhere fucking near the first time.
Hmm.
Because when you live in a place like SoCal, like you can just be you used to be walking down the street at 4 in the afternoon and see a guy robbing a place, or I saw a shootout one day. And shit. I've seen two shootouts actually.
Right.
I've seen
Um,
it all at this point. And
yeah.
then, but so one day, so there's a homeless lady that lives in my neighborhood. She used to be really infatuated with me, and I think she was kind of stalking me. But I'll talk about that on some other occasion. But
Okay.
anyway, so I always see her around. I see her around all the time, and I know exactly who she is. And so one day I was walking down the street, and I was coming home from the dispensary, and I see that lady with a cart, And then there was a Mexican guy, I'm assuming an illegal alien.
Hmm.
He was harassing her or something. But because I knew that she's a junkie, I just assumed that it was just a junkie dispute. And when he saw me walk up, he ran away. Okay.
Okay.
So he ran off. And then so I keep walking towards my destination, which is my home, and I notice that he's hanging back, and then he's waiting for me. And when I cross the street, he comes across the street, and now he's following me, right?
Hmm.
So, so I recognize immediately that, like, oh, I just foiled a rape, basically. I unintentionally foiled a rape, basically. And so the guy starts following me. So I go into the shadows, right? And I take out my pepper spray and I wait for him. And when he comes up to me, I say, "Can I help you with something? Like perhaps getting your ass kicked?" And he was so fucking scared to just be confronted by me.
Right.
He jumped into the gutter and ran across the street before the light changed. And by the way, he probably went back and raped that homeless lady. So
Jeez.
I doubt, I highly doubt. I saved her from being raped for 10 minutes, and then she just got raped anyway.
Oh
But that's
man.
exactly what it's like to live here, man.
Yeah, it's wild.
You're minding your own fucking. It's the Wild West. You're
Yeah.
minding your own fucking business. You see someone almost get raped. You don't even recognize it because you see this crazy shit all the time.
Yeah.
And then the guy gets mad that he didn't get to rape the woman, so he wants to fuck me up.
Hmm.
He wants to kick my ass. It's the same shit that happened last night. The guy got mad because someone busted him in the act of being a fuck up.
Hmm.
And his first response was, "I'm going to fucking kill you."
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if I had just been walking around his building at 3 in the morning, not doing anything wrong, he would have come out and kicked my fucking ass. So
Hmm.
let me understand why I'm not allowed to protect my fucking belongings and my neighbor's belongings, but you can eat
Yeah.
shit and fucking die. This is why I say they're narcissists. They
Yeah.
have no empathy. They'd lose their fucking mind if anyone treated them the way that they treat literally everyone else.
Well, that's what they
Fuck
do when
them.
they get caught. They go, the system is against me. It's like, no, you're a fuck up and you're ruining
You're
other
against the
people's.
system.
Yeah, you're ruining everyone's lives. You're fucking everything up, and you're mad that we're treating you finally with some form of punishment. Now you're like, oh, I had a terrible upbringing. It's like, well, I had one, and I don't act like that. I had a really
Yeah, I'm
bad
not a
upbringing.
junkie.
Yeah, you had a bad
Hmm.
upbringing. We both did, and we don't act like that because we learned that that sucks when that happens to us. So we don't do it to other people. We're not narcissists.
Exactly. That's
Despite
empathy, what you just described.
yeah, despite being comedians, we're not narcissists, which is
Well,
probably
I would argue that we're egomaniacs because I used to think I was a narcissist when I first moved here, and then I was like, once I actually got to know comedians who were literally narcissists, I was like, oh, I'm nothing like them.
yeah.
I just had a big head because I got a lot of attention when I first moved here. And
Mm.
I thought I was going to be a big deal. Don't worry, everybody. My ego is completely smashed to dust, and now I'm just normal like you are, and I don't care about myself.
Yeah, I had sort of a similar thing where I was like, oh, cool, I got on Last Comic Standing. I'm gonna be something, and then it just didn't work. um, but
You and Peter Prince got on it, and it didn't. Yeah, it didn't happen, did it?
yeah, which is fine. I'm
Peter
like, whatever.
Prince, remember that guy?
I remember. I can't not remember. He's
Yeah,
all
you try to forget.
yeah. You try and
I tried
forget
to forget Peter Prince.
because he's one of those guys where he's just kind of crazy and like I'm not gonna say that I haven't heard his music, but apparently at least he
Oh, it's bad.
says, oh, it is okay. He says he makes money
Yeah,
on the music side of things, but he always did
yeah.
comedy too, which was always really bad. And it never
Hmm.
got better. Like there's certain people where you try and help them. You go, hey man, maybe if you tried this or that, maybe you could find something interesting, and they don't listen to you, and they think that they're correct no matter what. He's one of those people.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. And so, because I never tried to be mean to him, I was just like, "Hey, man, maybe if you did like this thing that or I usually what I usually do is go, "Hey, that thing that you're doing, that thing really worked. Maybe you should like hone in on that." And people like that, they just can't hear that, and so they just go,
Hmm.
"No, screw you. I know my thing." And so he's one of those, and he goes, "I make money
He's
on
a
music."
narcissist.
Yeah, narcissist,
He's a
totally.
narcissist. Well, no, he what he did is he used to make money making websites for musicians. Like he
Oh,
worked
okay.
on Madonna's website, but that doesn't mean anything because
Yeah.
nowadays I don't. I mean, I don't look at anyone's website. I look at their social media, which they maintain themselves. If they have any common sense, it's
Right.
free. So what the fuck? Why would you pay someone?
Well, yeah,
Um,
websites are
but yeah,
useless nowadays.
yeah, Peter Prince is useless too. He's a total piece of shit. I hate this guy because I
Okay.
was always nice to him because I felt bad for him, and
Yeah,
I've
me
learned a lot
yeah.
of hard. I've
Oh,
learned a lot of hard lessons that you cannot be nice to people that are shitheads here.
yes.
Like, there's a reason why no one likes him. He's a dickhead, and I'm pretty sure he's
Mhm.
been living in a van since 2018 or something like that. He's a fuck up. So
Wow, he's like a Chris
he has
Farley sketch.
dude, for real. He
Yeah.
is that sketch come to life, just a loser. And he did something really funny. When I got back on Facebook, it was a really eye-opening experience to find out, like, oh, none of these comedians are my actual friends. Like, it was a real mind fuck. I was like, all these people who hug me every time they see me at the Comedy Store won't accept my friend request. What happened here? What's going on here?
Yeah.
But when I sent Peter Prince a friend request, he added me to his fan list
Yeah, I was
or
like,
his
no, dude.
followers, and I was like, I'm not following you. You're my work peer, asshole. I didn't send you a friend request because we're friends. We
Yeah.
work together, and I see you all the time. It's the same shit I was complaining about with the No Hood Diner or whatever last week. Like, these are my work peers, and they
Yeah.
don't act professional.
No.
So fuck them. I'm not going to be nice to them at all anymore. I'll never be nice to anyone again.
Right. Well,
I,
yeah.
I don't know what to do, but also like being mean to them didn't pay off for me either because I'm about to get my ass kicked by a fucking transient.
Um, well,
So I don't know what to do.
you know who we need in this situation? We
Batman.
need these guys,
Oh, the
the
Koreans.
Koreans, the
Rooftop
roof
Koreans.
Koreans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rooftop Koreans. I love these guys. And I
The,
love that they're not, they look like the Korean version of the Sopranos or something. Look at the way they're dressed.
well, there a lot of them were ex Korean military from South
Oh, hell
Korea.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they had
Oh, these are South Koreans. Of course, they wouldn't be North Koreans. What am I thinking?
right, 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 right. But a lot of these guys were they came in from South Korea, obvious, or maybe North Korea. I don't know, but they had military training. I watched a documentary on them. They're like the most fascinating thing in the world. And I remember I brought it up at one open mic once because I was it was like or it was just recently the anniversary this
The
past
30
week.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and people didn't know what I was talking about. I was like,
What? That's crazy.
yeah, because
I,
well, we're old, man. So like I remember
no,
night.
it's a big meme though, because I've seen like every time, like during the George Floyd riots, there
Right.
were tons of rooftop Korean memes. I
Yeah.
thought it was just common knowledge, and it should be. This is the shit you should be studying in school. This is
Yeah.
exactly what I was just talking about with my own neighborhood.
Hmm.
Dude, you got to be a crazy fuck that gets on your roof with a gun and shoots at people.
Right.
If you don't, they will come and fuck your ass up.
Right.
They'll
Yeah.
get
He's
your
that
ass.
guy. That guy is
Yeah, I love that
protecting the
guy.
neighborhood. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing is that so that what it started with, they have their own radio. So their DJs started saying, "Hey, there's trouble here. There's trouble here," and they would just through the radio. That's how they figured out where to go with guns,
That's
and
so
then
cool. Yeah, I love this.
they start popping off. Like, look at that. That man is
Dude.
a G.
No, it's for sure. He reminds me of Bobby Bacala's father on The Sopranos.
Yeah.
The senior Bacala, who is like they call him quote the Terminator because he just goes in and kills people indiscriminately. But he has the same attitude that this rooftop Korean has, which is, bro, I have no emotion. You will
Yeah.
die if you fuck with my shit. That's it.
Right.
There's no hate. There's no rage. I kind of was when I was young. It was funny when I was yelling at that guy last night. I was doing it with like no emotion at all because it was
Hmm.
really funny to me. Because I just thought it was funny to call him a faggot. I do think if you steal other people's belongings, you're a faggot. Like you just suck.
Right.
Like you're a faggot. It's
Right.
the definition of a faggot, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that. Like I calling him a pussy. You are a pussy, dude. You're
Hmm.
out there in the shadows wearing a fucking hat and stuff. You're the biggest pussy ever. At least I'm in my window. You can
Yeah.
see where I am. If you had a
Right.
gun, you could have shot me, you pussy. But you're a pussy.
Yeah.
But anyway, you got to be that guy. You got to be that guy, the guy that you don't like and hate seeing on the bus. That's the guy you got to be if you want to survive in Los Angeles.
Hmm.
This is real shit, man.
Right.
I, I, I can't tell you how many times that I've almost gotten my ass kicked on the street for no reason, just because I was just walking by, and somehow I diffused the situation by just saying some smart ass shit. Like when I lived in Silver Lake, you would think living in Silver Lake it would be nice because it's full of like rich white kids. No, it's a
N-
dump like everywhere else here,
Yeah,
and
it used to be sketchy though. Before,
it's still sketchy, I think.
okay,
I think it's even when it's gentrified, they still have an insane homeless population and stuff. But
yeah,
one day I went to the 7-Eleven at like 4 in the morning to get like an ice cream cone. I was
jeez.
walking back. I'm eating an ice cream cone, and this fucking guy, this homeless guy, comes up to me with a machete, and he goes. Hey man, you fuck with my tent? Dude, I could not have looked more innocent than eating that ice cream cone. I said, somebody fucked with your tent? Well, fuck, man, let's go get him. And like his whole demeanor changed, and he went from wanting to kill me with the machete to being like, "Yeah, let's go get the guy that did this." Apparently, someone had just driven by and thrown a rock into his tent,
Oh shit.
which I think is hilarious. I like it when stupid people fight with each other and I don't get hurt
Yeah.
watching it.
Although the machete is wild, but I mean that's just what they're packing these days.
Nah, dude, that's LA, man.
Yeah.
Machetes are common here. People
Yeah.
on the street hitting with people with machetes and shit. Yeah, I would love it if someone tried to break into my house. What are you gonna do? Steal my stool? you gonna, st- you gonna steal my stool and a bunch of Ugly Kid Joe CD singles?
Um,
Have at it. I
right.
don't even care about my belongings. If my house burned down, I don't care. Who fucking cares? All of my family portraits and shit got destroyed by Hurricane Katrina.
Oh wow.
So I can't even see pictures of my family anymore. So it doesn't even matter.
Wow.
Like I fucking care. Like, yeah, like I care if my um I don't know, my Nintendo gets burned up or something, you know?
Oh, you still have
Like
a
who fucking
Nintendo?
care? No, I have one of those they were
Switches?
they no, I don't know. It's not called Switch. It's a Nintendo, but it has preloaded on it like 50 games from
Uh,
back in the day.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
just they were a really big deal in 2017. Like you could
Yeah.
not buy them; they were all sold out. And then when I bought it, I played it one time and then never touched it again. I just didn't care. In fact, when I was a kid, I was only a teenager anyway. I continued playing video games just because I needed something to do with my hands while I was listening to music. What I should have been doing is learning how to play a fucking musical instrument instead, but
Right.
oh well.
I learned how to play bass, but I got okay, but I never was good. Obviously, I was never gonna go pro, but uh,
Wow, I don't care. I love it. Because the kind of music I like only has three chords anyway. So who the fucking cares if you're good at playing the bass, as far as I'm concerned?
right, right.
The fact that you can play it at all is cool.
Yeah, I think I could still play it. It's pretty simple, but it's mostly just about keeping time, but also providing some sort of rhythm.
Hmm.
You're like a rhythm guitar kind of, but a little bit pared down more. But you have to keep
You got
time
to
with the
hold the beat down for the drummer, dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's really tricky. It's
Yeah,
hard,
it's much more difficult than people think.
it's totally difficult, and it's really rare that you find good rhythm sections in bands. If the band, like I was thinking about Pantera, because Pantera are back out on tour, and it's like the drummer and the guitarist were the best musicians in the band, and they're both dead. So who
Mm.
fucking cares? Like
Yeah.
the drumming and the guitar playing in Pantera is unique and interesting. The
Hmm.
rest of it is just slop. It's just heavy metal garbage. Anyone could have sang in that band. I could sing in that band.
Hmm.
That's the most replaceable guy in the band, or the bass player and the singer.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
But I wanted to finish this out because like these guys rule,
Oh, of
and
course. I'm sorry. Yeah.
no, 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 it's fine because they saved Los Angeles or the part of K Town because it was about to be burnt to a crisp,
Hmm.
and they just look at this guy.
He had a hell of a time. They all had a hell of a time doing it too. Because people they won't talk about this. They won't talk about this stuff because
That's the famous guy.
if yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, they won't talk about this stuff, but the same shit happened during Hurricane Katrina, because
Mm,
it was a straight up race riot, a race
mm,
war, and because most people left, but the people who stayed, the black people were looting, and the white people were just killing them indiscriminately in the streets. And
damn.
it's crazy. A lot of the deaths that were attributed to Hurricane Katrina were white people defending their property. But all this shit scrubbed from the internet. there were interviews about this stuff on TV at the time because obviously it's noteworthy. It's pretty
Yeah.
newsworthy, but this is stuff that gets buried. In fact, the George Floyd riots have been buried if you really think about it. It's hard to find a lot of the stuff except for the really famous images that got shared so much.
Right.
But
There's
it's the
like
same
12
fucking
people
thing.
that died during that.
Dude, let me tell you, I guarantee you a bunch of people that were like the rooftop Koreans that defended their fucking property and killed some people, and they
Yeah.
they slipped that shit. That shit, you can't say that on the news because then everyone would just turn against every black person they've ever seen
Right.
after George Floyd and kill them.
Right.
You can't
And
let people know that they have the freedom to defend themselves.
right.
Long story short, that's really what I meant to say. Because it's not about a race thing. It's about
No.
because trust me, we're all niggers in the eyes of our elites.
Right.
Okay, we're all niggers. Not one of us is white. Not one of us is one of them. Okay,
Mhm.
we're all a bunch of big smeared brown shit niggers. That's what they think. And so they don't want us to know that we could just band together and kill them with ease because we
Oh
could.
yeah. Yeah.
They didn't need to go burn down targets and malls. They could have went down and burned the fucking politicians' houses.
Right.
But you always have to remind the people that they shouldn't do that. You should never fight back against those who oppress you.
Right.
Anyway,
Well, I think even the squirrels have had enough. Even they're revolting.
they're
Have you?
fatigued. Yeah, I
Yeah. Even
haven't
the
seen this, but
squirrels are fatigued.
dude, even after he like got knocked off and hit the sidewalk, he still ran after that fucking guy. No white flight for that squirrel. White fight. That squirrel's gonna kick you out. That squirrel must have been Latino. That squirrel was Latino, and he's like, I don't want any black people in my neighborhood. So fuck
Oh,
you.
dude, the
People,
amount of
do people
that's
know? Do
I
people? Do
I
people
know
know?
about it
Do
because
people?
I
Well,
worked
we
in
know because we live in California.
yeah, but I also worked in Inglewood too, where I'd hear about it every day because they
Yeah,
were talking about
and
how
I just say in Inglewood, it's Black Town, so Mexicans aren't allowed there, and
hmm
then everywhere else is Mexico, and then black people aren't allowed in there. So I've literally only seen like two black people in Canoga Park ever. They
because
got run out of here.
right. Well, in what they would talk about was there was a period there during the 2020 where during the riots where it it just became Mexican versus black, and then Mexicans were just shooting blacks, and then vice versa.
Totally.
Like people were just shooting each other, and gang related, but it was down racial lines, and it was crazy. And I was like dealing in the casinos. Actually, I wasn't there then, but this is before then even, right? So
Hmm.
this is like 2000. I want to say 11 or so. When did I forget when I quit. I just quit that job, but they were talking about it then. So it's been going on for a long time. It's just
For generations.
generations. This is what happens. Nobody talks about it. We know about
Hmm.
it because we know. I mean, uh, we know about. I mean, live in LA. You're not that far. You're a stone's throw away from crime.
Hmm.
Anywhere you go, there's a crime happening. Pretty much,
Hmm.
you know. And so I listened to people and I listened to these guys talk about it, and it was just surreal. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But it isn't. It's just gang violence stuff, and people
For sure.
are just gonna do that type of stuff because guess what? Um, when the chips are down, you go back to your basic instinct, and your basic instinct is my tribe versus any other tribe.
Of course. Of course, if there's an explosion at the Play-Doh factory and there's a bunch of dead or a bunch of dying black people and a bunch of dying white people, be honest with yourselves, listeners. Which one would you go to? If you're black, you go to the black group. If you're white, you go to the white group. It's the same as prison.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of prison, I don't care much for the Aryan Nation. I'm not a fan. But inside prison, I'm hoping that they take me to their bosom. Take me in. Take me in, Aryan Nation, because I don't have any other friends in prison.
Right. Oh,
I was thinking, it's only in prison and pornography are you allowed to be a race realist and acknowledge racism. Only in prison and pornography. And by the way, pornography is a prison. But
yes.
think about this. Like when you go to prison, there's no fucking integration. There's no like
Mm-mm.
Antifa guys hanging out with the black people. The black dudes would fuck your ass up.
Yeah.
That's it. Thanks for going to jail on my behalf. Now take my cock up your face. Take my cock up your nose. But it's the same with porn. Like only in porn can you say I want black chicks and no one else, and no one gets mad.
Yeah.
It's like I only like Asian chicks, and people are like, "Cool, that's actually great because I have a bunch of cool Asian porn to sell you." And I have to tell you, if you're a man, a heterosexual man, the only porn you should ever watch is Japanese porn because they blur out the dicks. You never have to see the dicks.
I feel like that should
I
be the
think this is
episode title.
I feel like this is why I have an Asian fixation because I do. I look at a lot of Asian porn because A, they like the same fetishes that I like, i.e., wearing black swimsuits for no reason during sex. and, then B, you never see any cocks. I don't want to look at the cocks.
Yeah.
Like I just not. I'm not into the cocks. And I
Hmm.
feel like even if I was gay, I don't think I'd be into dicks either. They're just not erotic. I just don't think they're cute. An ass is cute, like right. You could get a nice ass that you want to
Yeah.
grab.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cocks
Yeah.
are just like ugh. Cocks
Right.
are so gross.
Yeah, I'm
Anyway, I'm sorry.
always.
What were you gonna say? I'm so sorry about
Oh, the Mexican. So in prison, blacks go with blacks and Mexicans go with Mexicans. But the Mexican mafia. So that the a couple of weeks ago when we went to the haha, that biker gang, I found out. My coworker told me that they're affiliated with the Mexican mafia, so they for
of
sure
course.
weren't putting up with, protesters outside. They were just like
Hmm.
they just slapped him in the face and said, "Get the hell out of here, or we'll kill you."
Hell yeah. We should be friends with those guys.
Yeah,
They should be on our podcast. That would
right.
be a great guest. I have a
Yeah.
lot of questions. So I'm from Louisiana. Can you help me get all the blacks out of there, like you did Canoga Park? I'm just kidding. In the South, we're actually way less racist than the rest of the country because we actually interact with each other. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
They don't do like it's actually crazy to live here. I was thinking about when I lived in New Orleans, like sometimes you just be walking down the street, you see like a black kid who's like 10 years old, and he'd be like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" And you'd be like, "Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?" It's like, why is this kid so friendly? He's a
Yeah.
child. But that's just how the South is. We're just nicer to each other in
Right.
general.
But
And the only
but more
people that get
gossipy.
fucking robbed, well, that's true, I would say. But the only people who get robbed in the South are tourists. So it's
Hmm.
not a so there's no problem for us. We know which neighborhoods not to go into. So
Right.
no big deal. You can
Right.
go there and get robbed by yourself.
I wanted to. I know this is a good topic, but I wanted to switch to this one thing that you sent me earlier this week, and because I found it fascinating. I've been watching this video, and it's just we'll see how much we can get through, but
You have to.
Based on what?
Based on this being private property.
It's not. It's public.
It's not.
It is. It's owned by the city. It's
That doesn't mean it's open to the public, especially right now.
It's part of the park, which is why it's open to the public even right now.
Not this area. This area is clearly fenced in.
The fence was open so that you could get in. And I've worked here on several nights. The security guy knows that I come here and work, and it's
Okay,
never
that
been
doesn't
an
mean
issue.
That's a security guy back
there. Yeah.
It might have been okay. Can I see your ID real quick?
He called the cops.
I don't
Yeah.
have to show it to you, and why?
If you leave right now, you don't have to show it to me. He's asked you to leave, so technically you've already.
The authority.
He does.
I run the building.
He does have the authority.
But I thought you said you were the that sounds.
I'm the technical director.
He works
I run
there.
the
Of course, he has the authority.
Listen, man.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
He doesn't need
talk.
to get aggressive, and he's
He's not
saying
getting- he's not getting
he just said
aggressive.
I'm getting aggressive.
He's
Oh,
not
you gotta
getting
pause
aggressive.
it.
But he's not.
You have to.
You gotta pause it. She does this thing. I notice a lot of like leftists do this. It's a very female thing,
Right.
Where they'll say, "Why are you raising your voice to me?" or "Why are you yelling?" and you're not. You're not raising your voice at all.
Right.
And that the goal is to make you raise your voice and start yelling. I hate that. It really gets under my skin. All women do this. All leftists do this.
Yeah.
So why are you
They'll-
doing this? Trying to pretend like they're innocent. Bitch, you know you're not supposed to be here. fucking leave.
Yeah.
You've been told. You were told by the guy that works here told you to leave. Then a cop told you to leave. It's so puzzling to me that people just don't fucking leave. Like the guy last night, just fucking leave. You got caught doing a fucking crime.
Right.
Leave, dumb fuck. I wouldn't stand around or start yelling at the guy that told me to stop doing crime. What the fuck is wrong with you? You just got a chance to escape from committing a crime. You got caught, idiot.
Yeah.
I can't, dude. It really drives my mind. The egos on these fuckers.
Right.
It's total narcissism. I'm supposed to be here. It's none of your business if I'm here. No, it is. You're not supposed to be here, and it's literally my business. I'm a cop.
Right. And
I love the other thing is that I'm sorry, I gotta say this. Their big power move is to film you. You stupid cunts. They all have a camera on them now. Cops are filming you now, stupid. And it's not to protect you. It's not to protect you. So your camera means nothing. And by the way, their camera will edit the footage they take of you. So you need to watch your fucking ass and just leave in these situations.
Right.
That's it. You gotta leave.
Ample warning. Just go. It's not going to be. There's no problems if you leave. It's not a big deal.
Do you want to watch this? Do you want to watch the second video where she gets arrested?
Sorry, we're having this disagreement.
Yes, I do.
It's okay.
I know it is public property. I know that if you look it up, you'll see that it's public property.
No.
This is closed. You can tell it has a
She's
lock
trying
on
to-
it, not going
she's
in,
just
kinda like
talking
the library,
bullshit.
right? But this
What's even the
isn't.
And
Because she thinks she can talk. You can never.
Rules are law.
You can never talk your way out of it. First of all, the number one. I have defense attorney friends, right? That worked for the LA public defender's office. You cannot talk your way out of it. Shut the hell up and just leave. In this case, just leave.
Well, on another podcast, you talked about getting arrested, and you said, I took my lumps. And that's what you have to do. If you fuck up and you get caught, just accept it. That's it. It's like, I never freak out on a cop when I get pulled over because it's like, yeah, I definitely was going 10 miles over the speed limit. I always do that.
Yeah.
You just caught me this time, so I guess I'm paying the price this time.
Right. I'm paying for all the other times I got away with it. And then does it get to the point where she gets arrested?
And you refuse to leave. Is that
She gets the cuff slapped on her.
See,
nice.
this isn't locked.
I didn't
This
watch
isn't
this
in
part
What I asked you.
all the way
You're
through.
not,
What I
you're not
asked you.
comparing apples to apples. You're comparing apples.
Hey, sir. I got it.
He's like, hey, don't worry,
So this isn't
I'll arrest
like
this
that
woman.
The
because
other
this
guy,
is
yeah,
part
the
of
other
a-
guy is so frustrated with this bullshit, which I would be too. He probably wants to leave and go home. It's probably the end of his work shift.
Yeah.
I just wanted to wander around here and take pictures of stuff.
It's like
I saw some sunflower welcome mats on the side over here that I wanted to duplicate at my own home.
so I can get murdered later. But
She was exactly the kind of person that would try to talk the guy out of raping her.
right.
Come on, you know you don't want to do that. Come on, you'll go to jail. You don't want to go to jail.
Jeez.
She reminds me of, they're all these leftists are all the fucking same. Because I was thinking about that guy, and I think about him all the time. 2 years ago, the guy that he and his girlfriend were walking down the street,
Yeah.
and then there was a schizophrenic black dude who was having a fit.
Mm-hmm.
He was just throwing garbage cans on the ground and shit and screaming
Yeah.
incoherently. And the guy walks up to him and goes, "Yo, man, chill." And then he stabbed the guy, and he got stabbed in the head. I've never laughed harder at anything. I've watched this video so many times and laughed so hard at it.
Right.
You live in a world of delusion if you think that you can
Calm
talk
him down.
sense into a fucking schizophrenic dude who's already destroying public property. And I watch it because I love it. Anytime I see a guy flipping out on the street, I just cross the street immediately. I fucking run across the street the same way when that guy thought I was gonna kick his ass. I fucking jump in the gutter and run across the street, dude. Fuck this. I don't care if I hurt his feelings. I don't care if I bum him out. And then when I get across the street, I get my fucking my handy pepper spray, and I just wait to see what happens next. And that's that. The idea of talking to them or trying to reason with them, that just doesn't occur to me in these situations.
No.
You know? You
No.
do
Public
it.
park that's open till
Hey,
midnight.
man, chill.
So
Yeah, I know. Stupid. The dumbest thing. And like he had no self-preservation, just thinking, oh, I can walk by this crazy guy that's clearly freaking out, and then tell them to chill, and he's going to chill. Because when I do that to my friends, they chill out. Well, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
This is the real world. This is New York City at 3 a.m. Yeah, you're not, it's not working out for you. And now he's dead. Now he's
Yeah, and
dead.
that woman would refuse to pick him out of a lineup. So she didn't even defend her boyfriend after he died.
Yeah,
So he really died for nothing.
absolutely
he thought he
nothing.
was defending his girlfriend,
Mm-mm.
and she didn't even fucking care. In fact, I guarantee she was wet as the fucking river. The the bridge over the River Kwai is that's how wet it was. That's her underwear was the bridge over the River Kwai. It was so wet because she saw that guy like dominate her boyfriend who was taller than him, probably in better shape. He
Mhm.
dominated the fuck out of her boyfriend. She was like, God damn, I need to fuck this guy right now. I know this guy needs to murder my pussy now that he's done murdering my boyfriend.
um, yes. So yeah.
There's a huge difference there. This is
When is it? Is
outside.
it
I'm
like
not,
late in
going
this
into
video
a
that she gets
closed
arrested?
Place, right? This is open, and
This incident
there's
lasts
nothing that says I
forever.
can't be
It's
here.
Oh,
two
We know
days.
that's the
it's
thing
we
about these.
legitimately
Listen, it's
know
listen. It's very
amplifiers,
important.
Other parts of the
Okay, it's time for you to listen. I've been listening now. It's time for you to
Yeah,
listen. It's very
shut up,
important
lady.
that you do what I tell you, okay? It's very important that you follow commands. Now turn around, face that way, face that
And
way.
they have to
put
get a
your hands
woman to
behind your
come.
back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't fight. Do not fight.
there it
I've
is.
warned you multiple times. I've given you multiple
They had to bring a
chances.
woman in too. This is
Okay,
what
you have to give
problems
me your
white
name.
women cause. The fucking though. This is what the white women cause so much problems in society.
Hmm.
Like they had to call a second backup because there has to be a woman there when you're arresting a woman.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, women will say that you raped them, that you tried to touch them
Yeah.
inappropriately. They're also the reason why there's these stupid fucking cameras on cops now, which, by the way, I'm okay with. I like this. I
It's
love
worked
watching
out
that
actually.
footage.
Yeah, it's some of my favorite things.
For us, it's for this podcast. It's been a fucking a bon mot or whatever.
Yeah.
It's been it's been explosive for this podcast.
Well,
But just for my own personal entertainment, I love watching people talk to cops like they don't realize that cops are just a gym teacher basically, and you just have to say yes or no, sir,
yeah.
or you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Yeah, basically. Well, they, they don't realize that you're not in control of this situation.
No way.
This other person has a gun and the law is on their side. And
Yep.
so it's just easier just to just go, all right, whatever. And then
Yeah.
seethe, seethe, be mad, but silently, and then fight it in
Yeah,
court.
no. Yeah, complain on your podcast later. That's
Yeah.
what we do.
Yeah. Well, I didn't
Okay.
complain about mine. I did mine, so I was like, whatever. I'm gonna deal with this and do what I have to do. And then I had to go to those fake alcohol classes that you do that are just a waste of your time, but you have to go or else you go to jail. Um, have you know about those? So they make you pay for and go to these classes where they talk about the problems with alcohol and why it's not good to drink and drive, as if I didn't know. And but so actually I was probably one of the only people that enjoyed it because I used that time to just make jokes the whole time, and I think everyone else enjoyed it because people were laughing, and I was like, cool, I've got an audience for 2 hours. And so I was just like riffing. You good?
Sorry, my neck hurts.
Oh,
Dude,
okay.
we should start going to AA meetings so then we could have an audience.
Yeah. Oh, they make you go to AA too.
They should. This is actually a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of AA because I have friends that AA saved.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I'm always, I know it's corny or whatever to think about a higher power, but it's better
mean-
than being a fucking drunk that kills yourself in a car accident.
Yeah. Because, like, I almost did die that night. So that's why I was like, oh, I got to reevaluate. And yeah, I fucked up. It was like, for me, it was a good wake up call when it happened where I used it to better myself and then change the path I was going down. So I was like, cool. Yeah, it did help. Although I joke about it, like Well, I didn't quit drinking. I just quit driving. So I solved the problem.
I mean, actually, you did solve the problem because I'm, I don't think everyone should be an alcoholic, but if you are going to be an alcoholic, take public transportation. I mean, I really do believe that. I hate drunk drivers. I
Yeah.
don't do that. If I get too drunk, I fucking take a nap in the back of my car. I don't
Right.
understand why most people don't do that. I'm not in a hurry to get home. It's fucking 3 in the morning. It's
Right.
like, doesn't matter when I get home.
Yeah. 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 And well, yeah. And I definitely, you know, I'm not going, oh, yeah, that was a good thing I did. No, that was the dumbest thing I've ever done. And I'm glad I didn't hurt anybody, and I only kind of hurt myself a little bit. So I don't have any permanent scars from that. So for me, I'm just like, wow, this is a thing that worked out, and I think it taught me a valuable lesson. But yeah, I don't recommend it. But we were talking about female cops, and I
The
don't know if
only
you've
thing less useful than a female comedian is a female cop.
right. This female cop, this is her body cam. So they're clearing a house basically, and I don't know if you can tell what
Freaking mirror, bro.
she just shot
I turned.
a reflection of herself.
Oh, wow.
So she got because she's not supposed to be there. She's good at she should be like after they captured somebody and they need a female. That's where she should be, but she shouldn't be like clearing a house with her partner, because the amount of times that that they accidentally shoot somebody or really do shoot somebody, like the time that about the case where the female officer thought she was grabbing a taser. She says taser, 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 and then just shoots the guy and ends up, I think he lives, but she shot somebody. Like that's happened. That's something that has happened a few times. And so this is someone that's clearly out of their element, right? Because you're clearing a
Dude,
house.
I'm sorry, if I call a fucking 911 and a fucking woman shows up, I don't feel safe.
No.
I don't like. You're not gonna do anything but to escalate the problem. I see
Right.
it all the time in these videos.
Right.
You're
Well,
emotional. You'll
yeah.
flip out. You'll do something stupid, and some guy will have to come around and clean up after you.
Yeah.
They have all these fucking shows like Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. They should have one called Law and Order Female Partner, and it's all about the men who have to clean up after these women and fix their fuck ups.
Right. Right.
It's not a joke to discharge a gun in some random person's house. I don't care if all you shot was a mirror. That's not cool. It's not okay. You're not a
No.
professional, and you have no fucking business doing this job. And you shouldn't even want to do this job, you stupid cunt. You don't want to be at home right now making some Chef Boyardee. Instead, you'd rather go out with a gun and earn a living. Do you know that the reason why I think we should never give women the right to vote is because they voted to work? How
Yeah.
fucking stupid could a group of people be? You used to just have to have babies. So basically, you just used to have, like, back in the day, all you had to do is get fucked and then hang around with the kids that
you made.
happened because of the fucking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you have to do that, and you also have to work a fucking job because there's a fucking property tax that you have to pay now. That feminism is just a scam to create a
More
family that
taxes.
has 2 taxpayers. That's
Yes.
it.
Yes. It was
It's
never
a
about
fucking-
rights at all, ever.
There's nothing. It has nothing to do with equality. That's not equality.
No.
Women have to give birth. That's harder than any fucking job I've ever had. So you're
Yeah.
telling me on top of giving birth, you're also going to make them work for a living?
Yeah. That's
Fuck you. Fuck
that's-
that.
that's more misogynistic than just raising a family. It doesn't make sense to me. Every time I
It's
hear it.
evil.
Yeah,
It's fucking evil.
there's an evil
Well, let me talk. Let's talk about this in a practical way. My mom was a housewife, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, do you know what she did in her free time? She volunteered. She
right.
volunteered at the fucking children's ranch where they sent kids that got raped. Okay? So my mom was pulling double duty. I'm glad my mom didn't have a fucking job. She helped me. She helped my sisters. And then after she went over to this ranch and helped a bunch of fucking kids that had been raped and molested and didn't have a place to live.
Yeah.
So I like my mom and I like my traditional upbringing way better than some feminist bullshit.
Right.
And I want to say this. This is important. Those fucking first wave feminist cunts, they all had husbands and they all had children. They lied to you. They all got to have their fucking cake and eat it too. They didn't go without children. They didn't spend 50 years working in a fucking factory or working as a fucking waitress. Please. They were stay-at-home moms. Gloria Steinem, she was a stay-at-home fucking mom. Fuck you, bitch.
Wasn't she
You
also
fucking cunt?
CIA connected, if I'm not mistaken?
Of course she was.
Yeah.
Who the hell else would introduce chaos into our fucking society but the CIA?
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys like Clinton? You liked our president? You liked President John F. Kennedy? Well, we killed him. we helped Mossad kill him. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And I always think about stuff like this, like, why the fuck is JFK riding around in a fucking topless car anyway? Even the Pope rides around in a bulletproof vehicle.
Right.
You too good for the Pope,
Right.
JFK. Have a little common sense.
Yeah.
I remember people always say, like, well, that's faith in action, the Pope with bulletproof glass. It's like, that is faith in action.
Yeah.
It's like that's the definition. God created bulletproof glass so the Pope doesn't get shot. That's faith in action.
Right. Well,
I have faith that God's bulletproof glass will protect me.
yeah.
Oh man. Do you know how long we've done so far? Because I kind of want to get something to drink. But
we're almost at the hour, but I wanted to play this.
What time? No. I'm sorry, but what time is it?
Actual time is 9:58.
Okay. Oh, well, then never mind. The liquor store closed already.
Oh, damn. Okay.
That's okay. I don't need to be drinking more.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah. I wanted to play this video because we're talking about women. So let's watch this lady.
Ooh, women.
Well, a Bay Area
My
woman is
favorite
out
subject.
tens of thousands of dollars after she says she sent money to a scammer who said he was celebrity Keanu Reeves. Diane Ringstaff said she was playing words with friends when somebody messaged her saying he was the Hollywood actor. They started chatting over the next 2 years. Diane said she saw Keanu's face during a few video chats, and then he sent her audio messages.
Good morning, my sunshine Diane. As you said last night, I am sending this recording to let you know that I cherish you and that I am loyal to you. You will always be my queen. Have a great day today, Diane. Love you. Kisses from your loving Keanu.
Keanu said he needed tens of thousands of dollars in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for help with legal troubles.
Knowing what I know now and all the technology that's out there and fake voices and everything else, ding, ding, ding.
And for a deeper dive of this story, be sure to download the Fox Local app or head to our
But
Women
it's
need men.
yeah.
Women need men so badly.
I mean, it's funny because she's such a boomer that's the most obvious AI voice in the world to us, probably because
yeah.
we know about this stuff. But
it's hello, it's me, Keanu.
it was probably some guy in India that was doing the scam, but and also the red flags weren't there with her when he needed Bitcoin. The scam currency.
There's other scams too where they'll send you a letter in the mail or a text that says that you were caught on a video camera speeding or running a red light,
right?
But you can only pay with Chili's and Apple gift cards.
It's like, what?
Dude, boomers pay off this shit. I can't believe that I wasn't able to scam more money off of my father before he died because they're stupid. Like, the baby boomers have no fucking clue. They'll get an email and be like, "Oh, cool, I got to send this guy $5,000, or my mom will die."
Well, Look, all I
Whatever, good
know,
riddance.
yeah,
Dude, they fuck the boomers. Every time this happens to them, I laugh and I think, well, of course, it's already happened a million times to you. You voted for unlimited immigration.
yeah,
You voted all of your rights away as a citizen. You're
hmm
the reason why I have to have security cameras up all the time and I have to look at them throughout the day.
yep,
You voted for this, so eat shit and die,
hmm
dude. In their Canoga Park, the Canoga Park they grew up in, they didn't have security cameras. They could fucking walk around without getting bit by a fucking pit bull off a leash,
mm.
or, or I was thinking about, I was thinking about one time. I was right in front of my house, okay? I was just walking down the street, and this black guy who just towered over me, he shot me this big fucking grin, and he goes, "You're a nigger." And I just smiled back and said, "Yep," and kept walking because I was like, "Fuck, dude, I can't like, I can't walk down the street without getting fucked with."
Right.
They call that race baiting, ladies and gentlemen, because he was hoping I would say, "No, you're the N word" or whatever.
Oh, okay.
That the same thing happened on my Facebook a couple weeks ago. That fucker Big Wheezy. If you know who that guy is,
Oh, yeah.
he's the biggest race baiter I've ever seen in my life. I had already been complaining about him, how I had to hide him on my Facebook feed because he says so much hateful shit all day.
Right.
And he'll do these things where like he'll post a video of a Mexican guy fighting with a black guy, and then the text will be a big diatribe about how white people hate black people. It's like you don't
What?
even know you don't know the difference between us and the other people. So who the fuck cares what you think?
Right.
But anyway, I said that if I was made the booker of the Comedy Store, I would make it so that it was all jazz music the way it used to be and no more rap music. And he immediately said I was racist. He's like,
Right.
I said to him, I was like, white people rap too. Like, for instance, the first #1 rap song was a song by Blondie, the whitest band that has ever fucking existed.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't fucking tell me shit. But so then his big diatribe was about how he's like, all white people are evil and need to go back to Europe. And I knew exactly what he was trying to do. What he wanted me to do is to write back and be like, "Well, you need to go back to Africa," which I would never say because he wasn't even brought to. He wasn't brought here. He was brought here against his will. So I'm not. It doesn't even make sense to tell
Right.
him to go back to Africa.
And they don't like him either.
They would hate him more than anybody, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. But that's the irony. And he doesn't pick up on that stuff. But dude, the second I called him out on it and I said, "Fuck you and fuck your race baiting," he never commented again on anything I ever posted.
Right.
That's the same thing I was saying about yelling at this guy outside. Dude, you got to call people on their shit sometimes because if you don't, they'll roll the fuck over you.
Right.
They'll roll the fuck over you. I can't believe the guy that was on the bicycle didn't whip out his phone and start filming me because that's usually what pussies do.
Yeah.
Hey, I got you, buddy. I got you on my Obama phone.
Yeah,
Fuck
like-
you. Eat shit and die.
Doesn't do
Dude,
anything.
Listen. I'm gonna be honest with you, Chris. I want him to come back. I've already been thinking about it because
Oh, no.
I'm such a psycho. I keep a bunch of expired pickles in my refrigerator in the hopes that I'll catch someone trying to break in, and I can just drop them on top of their heads and defend my home.
That's a very medieval way of defending your home.
How easy though? Of course I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to do it. I'm like, dude, come back. And if my neighbors can get it on their security cameras and we can all have a nice video to laugh at for the rest of the time we live here, let's do it. I can't wait. Come back, bitch. Come back to my home and fuck with me some more at my fucking home that I pay an obscene amount of money to live in. Fuck with me here and see what happens. Because, I let people fuck with me in the comedy scene. I let people fuck with me on the street. But I'll tell you what, you will not fuck with me at my home. I
Right.
own this home. This is my fucking property. And you come here at 3 a.m, I'll fuck your ass up. At the very least, I'm calling you a faggot and hurting your feelings.
Right.
At the very least, you're getting your fucking feelings hurt. And by the way, all day he thought about that. Me calling him a faggot. He didn't even see what I look like. He has
Right.
no idea what I look like, but he knows I'm a bigger man than he is. He knows I'm not a faggot. I keep thinking about this too, because like I'm a wizard with words. I really know I'm really good at figuring out what to say to you to hurt your feelings and maximize the hurt. I find your weakness or I find your weak spot, and I just start like power hammering it, jackhammer your weak spot like a monster would.
Nice.
So when it comes to guys like this, where I could tell he was like some machismo dude who thinks he's a tough guy. First of all, just calling him tough guy. I always say that phrase, tough guy. Oh, what are you doing out there, tough guy? I love it. That phrase pisses people off more than pussy and faggot ever would. What, you think
Yeah.
you're some kind of tough guy? Because it highlights the fact that you're not tough.
Right.
If you were really tough, you'd break in through my fucking garage door and beat the shit out of me. You didn't. You jumped on your bike and rode away after you yelled at me. You're a pussy and a faggot. I was right.
Yeah.
I'm vindicated. I've been vindicated, Chris.
Yeah.
I knew you were a pussy and a faggot. Because I can tell you right now, you were outside my window. I sure didn't hesitate to call you a faggot.
Mm-hmm.
So who's the pussy now? I don't know. Probably you. And you are a pussy. I really want to highlight this fact that, like, if you have to, like, the hours between 3 and 5 a.m. are where the crime happens.
Yes.
Because they won't fuck with you at 2. I was actually surprised that there was someone out there at 2 a.m. because they usually don't fuck with you around 2 to 3 because that's when people are coming home from the bar. They know there's people out at that time specifically. So if you're anywhere outside at 3 to 5 a.m., I know you're a criminal because no one else is outside.
Yeah.
No one else. Literally everyone else is asleep. Even if you're a fucking psycho like me, you're asleep usually at that time. It's the fucking witching hour. It's the hour of the wolf. No one likes it. We all want to be asleep when the wolves are out howling.
Right.
So if you're one of the ones out there howling, you're the wolf, and I gotta kill you. At least gotta kill your self-esteem. I really get off on hurting people that try to hurt me. I have to tell you that. I really do. Like, oh, you thought you were gonna hurt my feelings? Come down there and say that to my face. I would love to. You don't even know how badly I would love to have run down there with a gun,
Right.
or with a machete, like I was talking about earlier. I'd love to take it out there and see what you do. Because I know exactly what you can do. You're going to get on that bike and run away. That bike you stole from someone else.
Yeah.
You stole that from a teenager, you faggot. In Southern California, these fuckers ride around on these stolen bicycles, and they're shameless. Sometimes you'll see them riding around on a pink bicycle. It's like, that's a little girl's bicycle. Don't you have any fucking shame?
Right.
Don't you have any self-respect? You're supposed to be a tough guy. Why are you riding around with a fucking pink bicycle? Thank you, Chris, for listening to my rant. By the way, I've been in a mood all weekend because of, getting threatened in my own home. I don't like that, and so I had to rant. And so even though I'm glad that you even though I can still I can hear you now and it's not choppy. I'm glad that you're listening anyway because I need it.
Well, at least
that.
Your rant was nowhere near as bad as this lady.
I have to follow every fucking law, but that fucking faggot can leave the fucking scene without a turn signal. Give him a ticket.
Do you need an ambulance?
He doesn't have a turn signal. Give him a ticket.
Do you need to go to the...
Go and get a ticket. He can do whatever he wants.
She looks like the chick from American Housewife.
Yeah.
With anything else?
I forgot what her name is, but
Yeah.
that's exactly who it looks like.
Fucking come on.
She's right, though.
It's not gonna happen.
It's
Yeah.
not going to happen. Of course not.
Anything else we can help you with tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not gonna happen.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants for.
I just want to know, are you okay?
I bet she's pretty awesome in bed though.
Fucking dumbass.
Oh, I love her. I'm totally infatuated. I'm totally infatuated with the girl on American Housewife as well. I forgot what her name is, but she's just my type.
This one?
I can help you talk to
Yeah, personality-wise, but physically too.
Yeah. And just like she's so mad she can't even hold her head straight. It's just like
Do you have any thoughts?
No, I'm on her side. I know
Yeah.
exactly what she's talking about.
she's
She's incensed. Dude, as much as I talk shit on women and make fun of them on the podcast, I love them so much.
They're
I
awesome.
I really can't get enough of them. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with them. I've always been like this too, totally girl crazy. And
Yeah.
like I was telling you yesterday, this thing I saw online that made me laugh so hard. I should have tracked down the video, but I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to make our podcast better. But I'll just tell you what happened. I was watching this video of this girl, and she was telling this anecdote about how there's a timer on her stereo, and she said in the middle of the night it just goes off and wakes me up. And then she looked at the stereo and went. I laughed so fucking hard. I laughed so fucking hard. It's funnier than any comedian I've ever seen. It's
Yeah.
funnier than any TV show I've ever seen. It was just a naturally quirky, funny thing to say.
Yeah.
And she has no idea that that was funny. That's the part that I love is that this chick doesn't, the chick screaming does not know how funny she is while she's doing it.
Not intimidating, just hilarious.
They are, and that's okay. That's what is exactly what I like about them. That's what I miss about having a girlfriend. I miss like walking around at the mall or whatever and listening to them talk shit about the way other people are dressed and stuff.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, I grew up with 3 older sisters. I'm warped by women, and I actually really think they're funny and enjoy their company, even though they're evil cunts. I like that they're evil cunts.
Yeah.
I think that's funny as hell.
And
I
they're
really do think
magic.
that's funny.
And they can create
They
life.
are. They have amazing pussies. Yeah, I see. I always think about like this girl I dated when I lived in New Orleans. We were walking down the street, and she saw a dog wearing a sweater, and she pointed at the dog, and she goes, "Whoa, look at that! There's something you don't see every day: a dog wearing a sweater." She was totally sincere. It wasn't being ironic at all.
Wow.
I love that woman. It's like. Oh, I miss her.
Well, on that note,
The one that got away.
yeah, the one that got away. We always think about him. And on that note, I think that's the show. I think we had I had a good time. This is one of our
I
best
had
ones.
fun, but I had a lot of fun, but I might not be on the next episode of the podcast.
Hopefully, the
Chris, you know, if he comes back, I'm going to go out and confront him face to
oh
face.
god, don't do that.
Nah, you need to tell me that. This is part of the reason why I started ranting about this stuff because I was like, if I say it, I won't do it.
Yeah, don't
But
do it.
I'm gonna fuck that guy up. He doesn't know this, but like, you know what I keep as a weapon? I keep it by. I have a couple of them by various doors in my house. I keep a mic stand that's broken, and
You can spear him.
dude, they don't know because like the mic stands that are still attached to the bottom part. If I hit you in the face with that, I will give you a concussion. You will die. It's the bottom part is so heavy.
It's very heavy
So-
and it's hard metal.
Now, and if you take it out of the stand and just use it as a club, holy shit! Now you're Daredevil or some fucking shit because it's nice and light, so you can just fucking hit the guy over and 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 over.
Just don't go outside. Let him come in, and then it's legal.
If once it gets in the garage, exactly. That's why I have a little weapon by the garage, which I just discussed. I'm not even kidding, dude. And this is not. I mean, I know I want to say this because I know I sound like a paranoid hothead. I do get that, but when you live in a place like Southern California where you're surrounded by crime 24/7,
Yeah.
you kind of got to be this way. You got to have your head on a swivel. You got to walk around like you're in an Ice Cube song.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your head on a swivel, keep your hand on the Glock because you got enemies everywhere.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
Enjoy the rest of your week.
All right. And on that note, thank you all for listening.